But that's my opinion. But anyway, continue.
Thank you. And you have a right to, your own opinion and your own thoughts and stuff like that. So, the way I said it, I actually did get lied to, and I did get coerced, and I was a virgin. So I lived in, like, a lot of stuff happened, but I lived in a Lambie with a couple of girls. And, they always used to bully me and stuff like that. And then, in the afternoon, like, after it happened, they did that issue thing, it was like worse than what they used to do. And that night, because of that happening and because of what they did, I tried to myself. But yeah, like, having people say that, I wanted it and it was my fault, and I was thinking like that. I don't know, it kind of makes me sad. It makes me really sad because, it actually happened that way, and because people don't understand it, or because people don't, believe it, they just say what they say because it just makes sense in their head, when really, I was a virgin.
So, when you're saying they coerced you and all
yes.
that, how did they do that?
So, it was like on the spot, so I didn't know of their intentions and things like that, and then when it happened.
Okay, because this might be affecting some people, so just
yeah.
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 Are you saying they forced themselves on you?
No, they didn't. They verbally forced me. So, there was me, my housemate, and him and his friend. So we were there, and they're like, oh yeah, do you want to do this? It's alright. Like, we're 19, 18, it's fine. I'm like, I'm still a virgin, so I was like, not really. Like, I don't want to do that. And then they all just started calling me pussies and, like, weak and, like, all the names. And because I didn't want to get hurt, I just gave in.
So you thought they were 18?
They told me that they were 18 and 19, yes.
Right. What about the 4-year-old? Was that a lie?
I have to advise you, please stop asking questions.
I can't talk about that. Like, I know that you genuinely want to know what's going on, and you want to know what's happened and things like that. Like, I respect that, and I do understand that. And I have gotten therapy, for this and, stuff like that. So I'm at a place where, I can talk about it and I can let people know. But I had a big, long conversation with my dad's partner, I think yesterday, and, she saw everything and, she heard everything and stuff like that, so we had a long conversation, and I said that I wouldn't talk about that situation anymore.
Are you quite vulnerable?
I was, when I was younger, because I didn't know how to stick up for myself. I didn't know how to defend myself. I didn't have a backbone. I wasn't strong-minded as I am now. Yeah. I don't know, like...
You said about, finding yourself attracted to kids, is that true?
Angie, I don't think you heard me when I told you about that. I'm not not too sure about that, but I remember saying that, you know, it was a diversion of, you know, that talk I had.
Before you carry on, Angie, I'm going to drop because I'm going to tell you why I'm going to drop, okay?
Stop.
One, I don't believe a word of it. Two, to tell lies about the lies that she's told about children, I'm sorry, but that's really sick. Even if it's a lie or not, regardless to that, that's awful and disgusting. So for those reasons, Ange, sorry, but I'm going to drop.
Yeah, look, I'm not buying it. I'm still not. I'm
Yeah, the
literally
thing is, we'll never get to the bottom of it, screaming and shouting. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what's going on.
I mean, you know, like, if he doesn't want to believe me and he thinks I'm lying and he won't actually talk to me one-on-one, like, that's fine. Like, I respect that decision and I respect that opinion, but in my eyes, if you genuinely want to know about something, you speak to the person first one-on-one. You don't just say a whole lot of...
Well, honestly, you're talking about you've gone to therapy, you've done all this, but you're still doing it, so obviously it's not working. You said you've talked to your dad's partner, you've had a big long discussion, and not long ago you were just giggling about it. I feel no remorse for anything like this on anyone. To a certain point, forgive anybody. You know, if it's murder, you're not forgiven. If it's, especially with children, you're not forgiven. There's some things I will forgive that aren't too crazy, but I've seen you for over a year now, and it's gone on for too long. It's not a joke, obvious. There's definitely something wrong with you. But, yeah.
Can I actually, you didn't have attraction to children, because apparently that's what you said on your live, that you have an attraction to children, no?
No, I lied about that. And, like, look, I know I lied about that. I know it was wrong, and no, I'm not joking about that. No, I don't think it's funny. No, I'm not taking the piss.
Ashley, if you don't mind, yeah? Let me give you some advice. I would suggest that you come off TikTok.
That's what I was going to say. I think just remove all socials. You're just digging yourself a deeper hole. You know, no one will believe you.
Because of everything that you said, I think it's got so deep. Now, I don't know whether it's true or not. I don't know, right? But, you know, I don't know why someone will say something like that about children. That's my opinion. But and my advice to you is to come off TikTok. Because I think you're in so deep now. You know what I mean? And I don't know whether it's true, and I don't know what. I don't know how vulnerable you are. You sound vulnerable. You sound slightly vulnerable. The 14-year-old, I don't understand that. I don't get that. But if he told you he was 18 and you believe that, makes it, I suppose, different. But yeah.
I don't have any charges against you.
Do I have any charges against me?
Yeah, right now. Do you have any charges? Is there any police litigation? Anything going on with that?
And don't lie, because we will find out.
I'm not lying.
Why is it, Ashley? Is it because of a physical disability or mental disability?
Angie, let her answer. So do you have any police cases against you right now?
Not right now, but a couple of years ago, I did go to jail.
So you served time. So you don't have any police cases right now?
No.
Okay. I would suggest that an attorney. You're going to need an attorney.
What did I go to jail for?
Yeah.
I don't think you need an attorney, in my opinion. I don't think you need an attorney because unless it's physical evidence. I don't think there's any, unless, is it, and you're saying you made it all up?
So to Ben's question, why did I go to jail? It's a long story, but, wait, do you want to know why I went to jail or my charges?
Yeah, why you went, like, what was the reason for it, if you don't mind?
No, it's fine. So, I was in a disability provider with carers, and they worked with physical disabilities, like they didn't work with mental health, so they didn't really know anything to do with that. And my moods were up and down all the time, and I would try to talk to them about it, but, you know, they wouldn't listen to me. They would always, like, call me a liar, and they would belittle me and bully me in front of me, and, like, with their other the other staff, and I would try to get help, but they wouldn't listen to me, and it went on, and I kept screaming and yelling and stuff like that, because of that, and like I kept doing things and like everything like that, and I got arrested a bunch of times, and I went to jail, and I got charged for intimidation, property damage, and common assault. I mean, like, it's kind of like a pin going in to my brain at the moment, because Ben's like, oh yeah, no, don't believe you, no, you're lying, no, not gonna, yeah, no, That's what I'm saying.
Why did you joke about it though? If it was a joke, why joke about that?
Yeah, you're under the influence right now.
Pardon, sorry?
You're under the influence right now of anything. Tylenol PM, anything.
No.
But actually, why did you joke about what you joked about? If you've joked about it, why?
Like I said, I said what I said,
yeah, deflection. Deflection of what?
I mean, like, yeah, deflection, diversion, as I said, it was about life. I can't explain why, but it was about life, and I'm not saying it's funny, I'm not joking about it, I'm not taking the piss. I know that they're actual, they are actual, people that are like this, out there, like real life stuff, and I'm not joking about that, like I'm not taking the piss.
Actually, another question, Ashlea. Were you abused?
Yes.
Because do you feel that maybe that you were abused, you've come up with this, or are you saying that because you were abused, you become the abuser?
So, that's, well, I wouldn't say normally, wouldn't say all the time, but, there are people that have been abused and now are the abuser. But with me, I can't explain, I can't explain why, but I know everything that has been thrown at me and everything that has happened to me, I've had to learn to kind of like deal with that myself and, heal myself, if that kind of makes sense. Like, I haven't ever I haven't dealt with my trauma or dealt with my issues and put it onto someone else.
You know what you said about when you're 8 years old? Is that true?
That story, I know that I said that I couldn't talk about it, but when that actually happens, that's how I was introduced to X. I didn't need to know about that. I was 8. I was a child.
But your brother was a child though, right? He was 4.
And it's really confusing, because I was talking to my stepmom. Well, my dad and his partner aren't together, but I just call her my stepmom. And she told me what happened, like around that time and things like that. And, I was just thinking, well, she told me that she didn't expose him to anything. She said that to me, and then I was thinking, well, where did he learn that? Because you only say things or like do things only if you've heard about it or you've seen it. So I was kind of questioning in my head, like, what did he see, what did he hear, if that wasn't true of what she was saying. She also said that, you know, my mum lied about getting arrested for some other reason and stuff like that. So I don't know what, I mean, I know who's lying. I do know who's lying. And it's very sad and it's very disappointing, because if I say anything or if I speak up, I'm gonna get yelled at and I'm either like gonna get blocked or whatever. So even though I know the truth, and I do know the truth, I'm just gonna get yelled at anyway.
Yeah, but what is the truth?
The truth is, hang on a second,
Take your time.
pardon, sorry?
Just take your time.
I'm probably gonna lose family over this, and probably gonna be hated over this, but it's because I know how life works. It doesn't really matter. My stepmom lied about a couple of things that she was saying to me, and I know she did. And
She lied about what?
She was lying about, you know, like the affair and like not abusing me and not abusing her kids and stuff like that.
And she abused you, your mother.
No, not my mom.
Daisy.
No. My mom wasn't the one that did it. It was other people, but my stepmom,
She
did, yeah, she, she lied about it, for whatever reason.
So basically, do you feel that your mum knew about it?
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you find this difficult?
Guys, please keep in mind, this is all alleged. Everything Angie's asking, this is alleged. That's alleged.
So were you abused by your family? You don't have to answer any questions, honestly. Listen, I'm not a police officer or a lawyer. You don't have to answer anything. I'm just trying to get around it. I'm just trying to understand it. As to what you've gone through. Yeah?
No, honestly, I'll be honest. This is my opinion. Angie. And I'm not sure what you think about it. Look, me and you are on the same page right now, Angie. But we really don't care, honestly. I can feel that from you. We're on the same page. We're on the same level right here, and that's why I respect you for it. But honestly, I'm not buying the crying and everything. And I know if you turn these comments back on right now, everyone will agree. You know, playing the I'm crying game. I was abused when I was younger. By my dad, like so many times, over and over again. But I've learned, and I know that you can still have past trauma, and you know, like you were saying before, Angie, where the girl fell into the water.
The reason that I'm actually crying is I can't believe my stepmom lied to me. And I can't believe that you're sitting here saying that I'm lying and you're into crocodile tears and stuff like that.
You said she lied about. Yeah. What else has she lied about? Did your parents abuse you?
By the way, Brennan, I also agree with you. I just want to say that.
Alright, 100% with you, Catherine.
I'm trying to make actually because you know if they've abused you, then you need to talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's really hard, you know, like sitting here hearing men say that he doesn't care and he thinks I'm lying and he thinks I'm full of shit.
Well, honestly,
Just stop. Just please.
If you don't want to hear it, you don't need to be up here. No one's forcing you to come up. But you're over here talking. You think you're upset. You know how angry. I've got 3 children. You know how angry it makes me.
I'm trying to understand what's happening. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. But she can't be, you know, if you're going to come up here, don't cry about what you've done. Just accept it. You know, I've done what I've done. There's no point lying about it. And, you know.
I understand about that 4-year-old and what happened there. Was that to do with your parents, Ashley? Because you was a child yourself. You was a child. I'm not saying it's right, but if you was a child yourself and it's happened to your parents, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
Shouting and screaming, yeah.
One thing that I'll say is you can't trust anybody, not even family.
So I assume from that's the comment that you were abused, yeah, by your parents and your brother too.
So mum and dad split up when I was 3, and mum got custody of us kids. And I used to we lived in separate houses, obviously, and I used to go to Dad's house every weekend. And I remember a couple times, you know, where, you know, this have happened, like, for example, I, you know, was eating, like, dinner at the table and stuff like that. I mean, I asked my stepmom about this too, and, you know, she explained her side to me or whatever, but, from as far as I remember, is that when I was eating at the dinner table and I was opening, like, my mouth was open when I was eating, and I was doing that because I didn't, like, I was scared of choking or whatever. She made me, like, she made me eat off the floor. And then I remember this other time when, like, this was before the incident happened. I remember one time I was, like, watching a DVD and it was a red one, so I went and changed it. And I wasn't allowed in my dad's room or whatever, but...
Is this about... Are we talking about your mother right here? Like your blood mother?
No, my stepmom. I was at my dad's. Yeah.
can we like what we're trying to get to is like SA abuse when you were younger, not like yeah. That's what we're trying to get to. Is have you ever been, like while you were younger, not just your parents yelling at you and all that stuff.
Well, my point is, yeah, right, because you're 8 years old, right? You've told a story on TikTok, yeah? Sorry, trigger warning, guys, of when you was 8 years old. So you was a child yourself, right? But and your little brother was also a child, because he was only 4. So you did some things to him. That's what you come on TikTok and said. So I'm just trying to work out, is it because you was abused as a child and you thought that was normal? So that's what I'm trying to work out anyway.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I never knew about that kind of stuff. I didn't have the bird and bees talk. So, like, I had no idea what that was. Anyway, so, it was a day, and I was in my brother's room with him, and I was just throwing blocks on the floor, like on the ground, and he was playing with a WWE like ring thing, and there was string around the ring. I'm just getting visuals now, which is really fucked. Anyway, so he took the string and he put it in my hand, and he turned around and he said, "Put it in," and he pulled my hand to his bottom, and I was like, okay. And then my stepmom walked in, and she took me to Dad, and Dad told my mom to take me to a psychologist. She did, but the psychologist thought that I already knew about that, so she began to have an adult conversation with me about that when I was 8. So she told me absolutely everything about sex, everything, like all the parts, what happens, like everything. And then I went home and I googled stuff because I didn't know what it was. And then my brother came in and turned it off and told Mum. And when Mum found out, she just took me, like, she didn't let me go back there. And she didn't do anything about it. And everything got swept under the rug until I spoke up about it.
Can I ask you something? Sorry, trigger warning, guys, yeah? But when you did what you did, that wasn't on a sexual nature, no? That was just, that wasn't, no? It wasn't any of that, no? Was it just like, a funny kind of thing?
Well, I don't like.
I want to say here, Bennett.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like he got the string, put it in my hand, turned around, pulled my hand to his mum, and said, "Put it in," and so I did because I didn't know.
Yeah, but 8 years old. Come on, that wasn't on a sexual nature, was it? Right?
I don't know. But like looking back on it now, I still don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that probably wasn't on a sexual nature when you're 8 years old. You're 8 years old. Right? I imagine it wasn't on that kind of sexual nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but because my stepmom thought it was and my dad thought it was, they told my mom to take me to a psychologist. And because the psychologist thought it was too, she just gave me a whole lecture about sex and what it was and how things work and stuff like that. So I knew about sex when I was 8. And I even had a conversation with my stepmom about it. I was like, well, like, this happened and that happened, and she explains, to me.
Like, 5 or 8, you probably put things up your nose and, do you know what I mean, all different places in your bloody body.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. That's what I'm trying to get at as well.
I just don't want to trigger anyone. Things up here.
My mum, she's just had a child. His name's Tyson. He's 3 now. So he's at the stage of just starting to talk. He can walk. I feel like once you're at 5 years old, that's when you start to learn words, right? And 8 years old, you're not going to know about. You're not going to know about sexual activity.
It's not more of a sexual nature, is it? Because I know when you're Stuff everywhere in your body.
You know, you don't exactly. You're putting things anywhere, really. You love them. But,
I just can't imagine
so
because
that's not really, you know, that's not really a reason. You know, if your parents may have took it the wrong way, but to me, that's normal for a child, and my children were putting things everywhere. You know.
yeah.
To a certain point, though, once you're in school, I'd probably say maybe year 5-ish, around about there. Then it starts to become, you know, and you're still doing it, or you're starting to do it, and you're fully aware. I reckon by the age of at least 10. Not maybe a little bit older, maybe 11, 12, you know. You know, you're going to be aware that that's not normal, and if you're still doing it then it's very concerning.
Yeah.
It's nothing to worry about, you know. So
that happened, and I think like I remember when I was 15. Like a lot of stuff was going on, like a lot. But I do remember when I was 15, I was like meeting up with like 40-year-olds to do stuff with.
why's that? That's what we're trying to get at. Did anything sexual happen to you that made you want to do this?
Like made me want to do what?
Well,
So you carry on, Ben.
yeah, like you just said you were 15 years old. You wanted to meet up with 40-year-olds. Was there anything when you were younger that sexually happened to you that made you have that trauma? Because at 15 years old, you definitely 100% know what you're doing. Did anything when you were younger make you want to do that? Not talking about when you were 8 years old and you were putting things in random places. At that age, you know,
Yeah, forget that. I don't think that's a sexual nature. Come on, you know, you put you in your body. But older, you know, things that you've said on TikTok is not right, is it? It's not normal.
So I remember when I was like 13, I was like in and out of like respite care and stuff like that. And I do remember when I was there, you know, like I used to get like physically and sexually abused, like by the clients.
By the clients?
Yeah, by the clients, yes.
From
Sorry, Angie, carry on.
No, carry on, Bennett.
Why didn't your parents do anything about that? Like, I'm surely, you know, that that's happened to you. Did you like it, or, you know, did you go to your parents and tell them about that? Because I'm sure if you told them, I'm sure in their right mind they would have done something about it.
I didn't tell anyone about it. I didn't talk about it.
Is this true, what you're saying, Ashlea? Is this God's honest truth, what you're saying?
Yes.
The thing
everything.
is, a lot of people have an issue because, you know, you've come on TikTok and said, forget worrying about the 8-year-old when you're 8, right? But, you know, about you having an attraction to children.
Yeah, again, it was, okay, so I was in...
Yes, appreciate it.
I was in the car with my carer talking about life, and I was on live too, and there's people watching and stuff like that. There's, I don't know, like 30 people or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, like, no one's going to, like, understand it or whatever, so I kept talking about it, and then I looked at my phone and, like, bumped up to, like, what, like 50, 60 viewers, and I was like, well, I don't want people to believe what I was saying. I don't want them to think about what I've said, so I had to say something pretty believable and messed up in order for them to get really angry with me and hate me and like not talk to me and like block me and stuff. Like, I wanted to get people to do that. So it was a diversion. I wasn't lying.
I can understand from Bennett and everyone else how it looks. Do you know what I mean?
I know how it looks. and I know how it is, and I know the severity of it, and like I know that I lied about it, and I know it is serious. I'm not taking the piss, and I don't think it's funny because, like, as I said before, like I know that, you know, there's actual people that actually do this, and I was brainwashed here, so like
You know what you're doing wrong there, right? We know that now, right? You know, you've admitted to knowing what you're doing is not right. So, but
this is just my advice. Is whatever you do is to come off TikTok.
exactly right. Because like, trust me, you might not care about it right now. You know, you might have your little cry here and there, but it is honestly really scary. This can really like fuck your life up forever. You know, if what you're telling us is fibs, and the police really do investigate into it, which I will make sure they do, for everyone's safety, and they do find out that you are doing this to children, your life is fucked forever.
Can I ask you a question, Ashley? Do you actually have children on Snapchat and Roadblocks?
So Roblox, no, I just go on there and play games, and Snapchat, I just add a bunch of people. Like, even if they, like, reply to me, like, I just, like, leave them on.
You're not right now, are you?
No.
Well, I know Angie does not
say Angie.
Can I ask you a question, Ashley? You know, you said that guy that was the boy that was 14 years old, right? You said he told you he was 18. How did you find out he was 14?
So after that stuff happened, his mum was at the complex, and she was really angry. Like, she was really pissed at him. Like, really pissed.
See, you know what? I find it really hard to believe that you didn't know he was 14.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I find it really hard to believe. I believe you knew he was 14.
So you were 18 at the time, right, Ashley?
Yes, I was 18.
So as an 18-year-old, I'm sure you'd be able to tell a 14-year-old from an 18-year-old. You look at me, 23 years old, you put me up to a 14-year-old, the way they talk, because, you know, their brain's not fully grown yet, the way they talk, you know, they're not fully mature yet. They have a mind of sense knowing that things aren't right from wrong, but, you know, you put me up to a 14-year-old, most of the time you're going to see a height difference, facial hair, could be with facial hair, the way they're talking, their hand gestures, whatever it is, you'd be able to tell that they're 14 or they're a bit older or a bit younger, you know, so... Yeah, I agree with Angie on this one. I'm not really going to buy it.
I do believe you knew he was 14, and I do believe he committed a crime.
I mean, I'm not going to make him... Pardon? Sorry?
You did. You committed a crime. Because I believe that you knew he was 14.
100%.
As I said, I'm not here to... I'm not here to convince you, I'm not here to make you believe me, like, I'm not here to do anything like that, like, I'll tell you what happens and stuff like that, but I'm not going to make you believe me, I'm not going to make you convince me, and, you know, as you said before, Ben, like, you know, like, you'll go to the police and, like, you'll tell them everything and you'll show them everything, and I honestly think that's a great idea, to be honest. It's a great idea.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pardon? Sorry?
Did the camera report it, Ashley?
Yes. So I got mass bullied for 4 months straight, and I went to the police and I told them what was happening, what people were saying, the situations that occurred, what I experienced, like literally everything. I sat down with them and I literally showed them and told them everything. Absolutely everything.
What do they do?
They just said they put a report down and they just said for me to block anyone who's mean and just ignore it. That's all they told me to do.
Do they consider you vulnerable then?
They never said that.
The boy that in question?
Like, they literally didn't do anything.
Angie, can I say something quick?
Yes.
Just really quickly, I just want to say for all the people watching that Angie is a citizen of the United Kingdom, and under Article 10 of the Human Rights Act, she is allowed, if there are no cases, she is allowed to be asking questions. All of this is alleged. Alleged. Thank you.
Can we give Catherine a round of applause? Honestly, I appreciate you. Look, honestly, I'm gonna say it like this. You know, you kill someone, you deserve to go to jail. Me personally, if I kill someone for touching my child, I understand I'll go to jail. I think it's completely stupid, but that's the way life is, and I'll accept it.
Ashley, you don't say anything about children again on TikTok.
Right.
I don't know if it's an act or not. You know what I mean? If you're going to stay on TikTok, I would not mention anything about children.
Yeah.
And back to the Roblox thing, by the way, I don't really know too much about the game. Been on there a couple of times. I actually do have a video of you talking to children on the game while you weren't fully aware while you were doing it. So that's how I know that's a lie, and that makes me not even try. I don't trust you one bit. Like anything you said, I'm not buying it. I'd like to hear your point of view on what happened, but doesn't mean I'm going to believe you.
And you have the right to. You have the right to not believe me. But
I'm trying to get involved. I want you to know.
You sound vulnerable to me, but I don't think you're that vulnerable to not. You know, I think you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I do believe in things like this. To me, it's like you got to like not know the difference between right and wrong. I think you know that. You know what I mean? So there's no excuses about, you know, if you're vulnerable in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? I do believe you knew he was 14. I do.
100%.
Yeah.
you know, like I said before, like you're allowed to believe that. You're allowed to think that. I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm not going to.
At this point, it's not what we believe. It's the truth. With all the information that we have, the videos. There's multiple of us watching this live stream in Angie's TikTok right now.
I've not seen those, but I'll go by what you say. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We have multiple videos of doing this, and at this point, it's pretty much safe to say that you probably are serious about this, and now you're trying to act like it was all a joke to cover it up.
Do you realise that actually a child is a child? Yeah, they don't know. Yeah, what they're doing, they have, because I know your friend Queen C or whatever her name, I can't remember her name, was on live saying, well, a 14-year-old knows what they're doing, and, and all this kind of crap. A child is a child.
You're the adult, you're responsible for the actions that happen in that room.
You don't know what they're doing, but it's still a crime.